All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to get into something that could totally rewire how you think about female power, where it comes from, and what it means to be an intelligent woman. So get ready, because this is probably going to challenge a belief that most of us grew up with.
Now that is a really bold promise, right? And it is the absolute heart of what we're exploring today. We're going to dig into the idea that for you to be truly powerful, you don't have to shut parts of yourself down, you actually have to wake all of yourself up.
So what is this big myth? You know the one. It's that cultural story that tells us a serious woman has to make a choice. It's this idea that you can either be smart and intellectual, or you can be sensual and sexual, as if your mind and your body are on two completely different teams. But as we're about to see, that is a huge, limiting lie.
Here's the core idea. Far from being opposites, your intellect and your sexuality are really just two sides of the very same coin. And this isn't just some nice philosophical thought. It's presented here as a neurophysiological fact. The argument is, when you suppress your body's natural energy, you're literally cutting yourself off from half of your brain's power. Okay, so let's get into the how. How exactly are your mind and body connected in this way? Well, think of it like a high-speed biological highway, a direct, incredibly powerful link between your brain and, well, your center of pleasure. And that neural superhighway starts right here. The clitoris isn't just some localized pleasure button. No, it's described as the visible peak of this huge internal system. It's an organ designed for one thing and one thing only: pleasure. And it's built to send a powerful signal straight up to your brain.
And that signal travels at lightning speed. I mean, it's almost instantaneous. It starts in the pelvis, rockets up something called the pudendal nerve, and connects directly to the somatosensory cortex. That's the part of your brain that basically maps out every sensation in your entire body.
And this is what happens when that signal arrives. It's not a subtle little flicker. It is a massive activation. We're talking about an entire region of your brain that corresponds to your genitals, just lighting up like a giant switchboard, creating this incredible flood of neurological activity.
And get this activation isn't just a temporary flash. The idea here is that your capacity to feel is a trainable skill, like a muscle. Regular pleasure can physically enlarge that part of the brain, wake up neurons that were sleeping, and boost neuroplasticity, which is your brain's amazing ability to form new connections. This is the sweet spot where logic and creativity are said to merge, unlocking a whole new level of your intellectual power.
So that's the physical wiring, right? The hardware. But on top of that, there's also this profound chemical shift that happens. It's like a literal cocktail of neurotransmitters gets released, creating the perfect conditions for mental brilliance. And it's so important to understand that these benefits aren't some mystical, abstract thing. This is all grounded in pure biology. We're talking specific, powerful chemical reactions that happen inside your brain and your body.
So let's break down how this chemical cocktail actually works for you. You've got dopamine, which fires up your motivation and helps you concentrate. Then there's oxytocin, which calms down your brain's fear center, freeing up a ton of mental space. And finally, all that increased blood flow delivers a surge of oxygen and glucose to your brain, literally clearing away that brain fog and making your thoughts incredibly sharp.
Think about sexual release as the ultimate system reset for your brain. It quiets down your prefrontal cortex for a bit. That's your inner critic, your planner, the part that's always worrying. It purges all the mental clutter. So you come back to your work or your life not feeling drained, but totally reset, with a vision that is piercingly clear and focused.
Okay, so we've covered logic and clarity. Now let's move on to another form of intelligence: intuition. The idea here is that intuition isn't some random, mystical power. It's actually a biological function that you can tune into and strengthen.
And right at the center of this is the pineal gland, which people sometimes call the third eye. Now, according to this framework, this tiny little organ is super sensitive to your sex hormones. So when your body is in this rhythm of pleasure, the pineal gland acts like a tuning fork, sharpening your ability to pick up on hidden meanings and read people and situations with way more accuracy.
This completely reframes what intuition is. It's not just some vague gut feeling. It's presented here as a really powerful form of data processing, a high-level analytical tool that is literally fueled by your body's pleasure response.
So let's pull all these threads together. You've got the neurowiring, you've got the brain chemistry, and you've got this amazing intuitive engine.
The ultimate point is that your intellect and your sexuality aren't separate things at all. They are just two expressions of one single, powerful, life-giving resource, your libido. And your biology is designed to support this 100%. Just look at this. The very hormones that regulate your sexuality are directly tied to the things that drive success. Testosterone fuels your ambition. Estrogens boost your verbal skills and memory. Oxytocin deepens your ability to connect with people. See? It's all one beautifully integrated system.
This is probably the most critical takeaway of all. That energy of desire, it isn't a distraction from your goals. It isn't something you need to manage or suppress to get ahead. According to this, it is the very energy you need to achieve your goals with power and with clarity. It's rocket fuel.
Because without that union, you're always operating at half capacity. Your intellect, when it's starved of your body's vibrant energy, can become brittle, dry, and rigid. And your sexuality, when it's not guided by a clear and focused mind, can't ever reach its full creative potential.
But when they are united, wow, a totally new potential emerges. The source calls this the woman creator. It's an archetype of a woman who is fully integrated, who uses her entire being to create the life she wants, not through struggle and force, but with grace, with ease, and with pleasure.
And so we're left with this final, really powerful question. It's a challenge, really. A challenge to look beyond all those old myths we've been told and to really consider the immense, untapped potential that's waiting inside our full integrated selves. So I'll just leave you with that. What could you create with your full power unlocked?